Good evening, one and all. We welcome you all to the international webinar series on holistic health, well-being, and sustainable development 2026, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 78 years of independence and United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030 and Viksit Bharat at 2047 as part of awareness and campaigns in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute Center for Art, Sciences and Wellbeing. Before we start our sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तु ते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तु ते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue today's commemorations and celebrations. Today is commemorated as Women's Heart Week from February 1st to 7th in US each year in the first week of February. The observation aims to educate, raise awareness, and teach the symptoms and preventions of serious heart diseases in women. Health centers organize screenings, talks, and awareness programs, and women are familiarized with gender-specific information on heart illness. This is a good time to get your heart checked, especially if you have a history of heart illness in your family. Timely precaution can save you from suffering from major heart issues. Consult your doctor or healthcare providers on how to observe Women's Heart Week. This week is also commemorated as World Interfaith Harmony Week from February 1st to 7th, observed every year in the first week of February from February 1st to 7th. This observation has been emerged from the United Nations General Assembly UNGA resolution that seeks a worldwide celebration of interfaith harmony. The World Interfaith Harmony Week was started in 2010 by HM King Abdullah II and HRH Prince Qazi bin Mohammed of Jordan. The goal of the week-long celebration is to promote harmony between the citizens of the world, and regardless of their faith, it is the celebration of unity in diversity and the divine connection between the people of faith. Uniting for peace, strengthening multilateralism in times of global challenges being the theme. World Interfaith Harmony Week as an annual event observed during the first week of February in designating the observance of the week in 2010. The UN General Assembly pointed out that mutual understanding and interreligious dialogue constitute important dimensions of a culture of peace. It is established World Faith Harmony Week as a way to promote harmony between all people regardless of their faith. So recognizing the imperative need for dialogue among different faiths and religions to enhance mutual understanding, harmony, and cooperation among people. The General Assembly encourages all states to spread the message of interfaith harmony and goodwill in the world's churches, mosques, synagogues, temples, and other places of worship during that week on a voluntary basis and according to their own religious traditions or convictions. World Interfaith Harmony Week, in short known as WHW, conceived to promote a culture of culture, peace, and non-violence. was the first proposed by King Abdullah II of Jordan at the United Nations in 2010. This was quickly adopted by the UN General Assembly, Resolution 65 by 5, declaring the first week of February each year as World Interfaith Harmony Week, calling on governments, institutions, and civil society to observe it with various programs and initiatives that would promote the aim of WIHW objectives. Hate speech incites violence and intolerance. The devastating effect of hatred is sadly nothing new. However, its scale and impact are now amplified by new communications technologies because fighting hatred, discrimination, racism, and inequality are among its core principles. The United Nations is working to confront hate speech at every turn, and you can too say no to hate. Today is also commemorated as International Face and Body Art Day in US on February 1st. Annually honors face and body artists and exceptional artworks from around the world. The holiday pays respect to the art of the body painting, tattoos, piercings, performance art, and scarification. It also spreads awareness that face and body art centers around the issues of gender and personality, identity, and sometimes the relationship between body and mind. So humans have been tattooing themselves since ancient times before the advent of tattooing technology. The earliest evidence of tattooing was discovered on the body of Otzi, the Iceman found in the Alps, which scientists carbon dated at around 5,200 years old. Tattoos were found on the body of Egyptian mummies, which revealed that tattooing had been practiced in ancient Egypt as far as back as 3351 and 3017 BC. So, unlike other cultures, during antiquity, the ancient Greeks and Romans had a peculiar use for tattoos. And Greek and Romans records from at least the 5th century BC reveal that they used tattoos to mark enslaved people, criminals, and prisoners of war. However, that changed during late antiquity when Romans began tattooing soldiers and arm manufacturers. Today is also commemorated as World Aspergillosis Day on February 1st. On this day, people across the globe gather to learn about aspergillosis, a little known infection, and share their knowledge with others in hopes of preventing future cases and promoting treatment and research initiatives. Aspergillosis is an infection caused by fungus usually found in mold. Although it's common for people to breathe it from the air, this fungus only affects those predisposed to lung complications, such as people with asthma, tuberculosis, and cystic fibrosis. And it can also affect individuals undergoing cancer treatment or recovering from a recent organ transplant. In addition to this, infection occurs in both birds and has different intensities, ranging from a simple sinus infection to a chronic form of lung nodes. Uncomplicated infections can be treated and cared for using antifungal medication. However, chronic cases can only be treated with a high risk surgical procedure that can result in death. Over a half of a million people die annually worldwide from complications related to aspergillosis. The fungus ball in the lungs might not cause any symptoms and only be found through the chest x ray, but in many cases, it may cause coughing, fevers, pain, and bleeding. if it goes untreated. Aspergillosis can spread to other organs and lead to liver and kidney failure. Sometimes a patient needs to be kept in an environmental infection control to reduce mold exposure, which can further worsen their condition. Some fungus variation or mutations might resist certain steroids, making treatments much harder. It's important to schedule routine examinations and start treatment as early as possible to prevent complications. Today is also commemorated as World Hijab Day, observed on February 1st to honor Muslim women who wear the hijab. And it is also a day to urge women of various origins and beliefs to try on the hijab and see what it is like to wear it. And Muslim women maintain their modesty by wearing the hijab and may also use them to safeguard themselves from male harassment. But now the changes have uh, been witnessed. In the traditions where we are seeing that wearing a hijab is rooted in sacred religious beliefs, and it is also an opportunity to learn about other types of coverings, about including the chadar or shala, burqa, kimar, niqab, and so on. So this day aims to create awareness on the issues affecting Muslim women all over the world. It sheds light on the effects of the public perception on their daily lives. It is an opportunity to challenge common misconceptions around surrounding the hijab, and the celebration makes the hijab relatable to people outside the Islamic faith. And it is an opportunity for people to show support for Muslim women for to against hijab. So we love that come together and celebrate different religious practices, religions and customs and traditions. This month is also commemorated as American Heart Month in February 2026. That is this month every year. More than 6,50,000 Americans die from the heart disease, the number one cause of deaths for most groups. Heart disease affects all ages, genders, and ethnicities. Risk factors include high cholesterol, high blood pressure, smoking, diabetes, and excessive alcohol use. The human heart is responsible for pumping blood throughout our body, supply oxygen and nutrients, and removing toxins and waste, weighing between 8 and 12 ounces. The heart is a mighty organ divided into four chambers that work together to pump blood in and out. The heart gets oxygenated blood from the lungs and pumps it throughout the rest of the body. It does this by contracting at a rhythmic pace, about 60 to 80 times per minute, thanks to the electrical cells called pacemakers. When the heart ceases to perform its regular function, a medical device, also called a pacemaker, can be implanted to assist the heart. Heart disease occurs when the arteries leading to the heart become clogged. Although heart disease has been around for thousands of years, we do know that many aspects of modern life exhibit risk factors and make people more prone to heart disease and heart failure. Today, 1 in 4 deaths in the US is attributable to heart disease. Heart disease can affect everyone, but taking stock of your prior health, risk activities, and diet can help reduce your risk. Although we have learned a lot about how the heart works, there are still many unanswered questions about heart health and the cardiovascular system. As far as we know, the best way to protect your heart is to stay active, eat a healthy and balanced diet, and reduce your daily stress. To celebrate American Heart Month, take some time to learn about the Heart Week, find your favorite healthy activities, and cook some healthy recipe, healthy meals for your family. Today is also commemorated as AMD Low Vision Awareness Month for the entire month, February, which is observed annually throughout the February, and it is an awareness month targeted at spreading more information about age-related macular degeneration, AMD, and diseases affecting the eyes that could lead to visual impairment. Putting out the right information about AMD and low vision is important to promote early detection and cancel out whatever false beliefs may circulate about both illness. AMD affects approximately 15 million people in the US. So AMD stands for age-related macular degeneration. It is an illness that is leading cause of low vision in Americans older than 50 years of age and across the world. The part of the eye affected by this disease is macula, a pigmented oval-shaped part of the retina, about 5 mm in diameter. It is responsible for the central vision required for driving, reading, and fine detail. Containing a high number of photoreceptor cells that detect light, it is also responsible for high resolution vision. AMD is a progressive disease that causes retinal cells to slowly die, though it causes no physical pain. Medical experts have been able to identify some risk factors that might lead to onset of AMD, including high blood pressure, high levels of blood cholesterol, obesity, and smoking. Other risk factors that a person has no control over are age, hereditary, race, and gender symptoms. Of the symptoms of the disease include blurry vision, blind spots, straight lines appearing wavy, doorways seemed crooked, and objects appearing farther away or smaller. When any of these symptoms present themselves, the concerned individual is advised to immediately visit an ophthalmologist. Though there is no cure for this disease, AMD never causes blindness, so it is possible for a patient to live normally with the disease by adapting to the quality of vision they have. On the other hand, low vision is a visual impairment that cannot be corrected by surgery, glasses, contact lens, or even pharmaceuticals. Its symptoms are blurry vision, tunnel vision, or blind spots. Low vision does not lead to complete blindness and, in fact, can be improved with the use of visual aids. AMD is one of the common cause of low vision alongside diabetes and glaucoma. Though anyone can be affected by the low vision, individuals 45 years and old face more risk. It is observed that stress may be associated with increased inflammation because AMD is an inflammatory disease. It is possible that stress may contribute to its progression. Insomnia has been identified as a sign of an increased risk of developing age-related muscular degeneration. With muscular degeneration, a medical specialist called a retinologist is required because macula is part of the retina. When you notice a person struggling with either AMD or low vision, be kind enough to make the situation more comfortable for them. Turn off a few lights, ask them if they need help getting to their destination, and render whatever form of help you can. The number of people diagnosed with AMD is expected to increase to 288 million by 2040, and the global cost of vision loss is about 3 trillion US dollars for the 733 million people diagnosed with blindness and low vision worldwide. AMD is more prevalent than glaucoma and dry eye combined. So about 78% of AMD patients have irreversible vision loss by the time they seek treatment. About 4 million Americans live with low vision. AMD Low Vision Awareness Month helps raise awareness about both illness. Those who have never heard of AMD or low vision will get to learn about thanks to awareness campaign. Early detection and treatment of both AMD and low vision slow the progression of the disease, and this day will lead to early testing. Not only do people get to learn about these diseases, but they also learn how to support those affected by them, and they learn what assistance they can offer to make life more comfortable. This month is also commemorated as Adopt a Rescued Rabbit Month in February. Which was founded in 2002 by the American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. In the same year, PetFinder.com joined forces with them to celebrate the first annual celebration of the month. It is only celebrated in the US and with some rescues in Canada. In 2002 and 2003, it celebrated in July, but from 2004 onwards, it changed to February. Because rabbits are not favored by people as cats and dogs, many friendly rabbits are waiting at the animal shelters to be picked up by you. And if you made up your mind and made the decision to get a rabbit, consider adopting from a rescue instead of shopping for a bunny from a pet shop. Today is also commemorated as Holiday Hugs Day, which is celebrated every year on February 1st, and it's a day on which Atlanta Blood Services thanks all of the donors who participated in the blood donation campaigns during the busy holiday season on Christmas and New Year. These donors are usually people who have kept habit of donating their platelets on a 4-month streak the year before and continue to donate routinely to the blood bank. Platelets are cells within the human blood that help the body fight infections and diseases and are one of the main operators of the human immune system. Today is also commemorated as Guru Ravidas Jayanti in India, which is an holiday observed on the full moon day in the month of Magha month. It commemorates Guru Ravidas, who was born in 1450 in Uttara Pradesh, Varanasi. He became a poet saint, a reformist, and a spiritual figure who also founded the Ravidasiya religion. He is celebrated for his massive number of followers. People observe this day by taking a holy bath and then proceeding with a performance of a special arti to seek the blessings of the distinguished Guru. At the Sri Guru Ravidas Janam Asthan Mandir, the leading place of pilgrimage or spiritual headquarters for followers of the Ravidasiya religion from communities like Adharmis, Ramdasiya Sikhs, Chamars, Jatwas, and Mochis. A considerable amount of people assembled to celebrate the festival. Guru Ravidas followers also dress up as him to participate in the Nagar Kirtan, which is of significant importance to this remarkable day. So Guru Ravidas Jayanti is celebrated in the honor of birthday of Guru Ravidas on Magha Purnima, the full moon day in the month of Magha month. It is a yearly fundamental significance for Ravidasiya religion. People from different countries come together to commemorate this special occasion in India, and devotees take a holy dip in the river to fulfill rites. Ravidas ji was born in 1450 in the village Sir Govardhanpur in Uttar Pradesh. He was born into a underprivileged family and he became one of the initial few people who instigated a war against the caste system. According to a legend, Ravidas ji was a Brahmin in the past life before being incarnated. The great man died, and when he was dying, he became interested in the women of Chamar caste and he wished that the beautiful woman would become his mother. So after his death, he became reincarnated as Ravidas ji from the womb of the same woman. He was concurrent to Kabirji and he had several recorded interactions with Kabirji on spirituality. On this day, his disciples bath in the holy waters, then take inspiration and insight from their Guru Ravidas ji by recalling the great events and miracles connected to his life. His followers go to his place of birth and observe his birthday on Ravidas Jayanti, which has special importance among the people following Ravidasiya religion. Guru Ravidas was acknowledged to be Mirabai's spiritual guide and is also said to have provided 41 devotional songs and poems in Guru Granth Sahib. Today is also commemorated as Magha Purnima or Magha Purnima, which is a full day that occurs in Hindu calendar month of Magha, takes place on February 1st this year. Many devotees worship the moon, and there is a certain section of populace that commemorates the religious leader and founder of Buddhism, Gautam Buddha. Hindus across India celebrate this auspicious day in multiple ways, which would showcase in this on this occasion. Hindus consider Magha or Magha month to be the most significant of all the months in Hindu calendar or month. While celebrating Maghi Purnima, devotees fast, take a dip in holy waters, make donations to charitable causes, and offer prayers to gods like Vishnu, Shiva, and Hanuman, Rama, and so on. Hindus believe the holy bath taken in certain rivers like Ganges, Ganga, Yamuna, Kaveri, and so on is very providential. So, Hindu mythology and Hindu culture and traditions, ancient scriptures also states that the Lord Vishnu resides in the river Ganga on this day, and even touching the waters can be very beneficial to people. The, plus, the prayers being offered on this day are their wishes almost certain to come true, believe most devotees. People across India have varied customs across religions. The southern state of Tamil Nadu hosts a special float festival every year. Decorated idols of their gods, Meenakshi and Lord Sundaresan, are mounted on floats. North India cities like Allahabad and Prayagraj holds a Magha Mela, a large religious fair annually like Kumbh Mela at the confluence of three major rivers, Ganga, Yamuna, and mythical river Saraswati. Apart from religious significance, this day is also important in regard to astrology. As the sun moves to Capricorn sign, the moon moves into the Cancer constellation. The holy dip is said to negate all problems arising with the sun and the moon, and the month itself helps people adjust to changing seasons, perhaps, and people find strength and power to face the next season. Another reason Magha Purnami is also important. Followers of Buddhism believe Lord Buddha announced his impending death on this day. Legend says that there was an earthquake as soon as he said the words, as though the earth itself was shaken up by this news. His followers believe the earth shook just this way when Buddha was born, and when he received enlightenment, became the religious leader the world knows, and when he passed away. On this day, Buddhas conduct religious ceremonies, prayers are made to Buddha, and offerings are given to the unfortunate. Multiple Buddhist villages across India and organize fairs and events to celebrate Buddha. Today is also commemorated as Federal Territory Day in Malaysia, which is an annual regional celebration that is observed on February 1st in Malaysia to mark the anniversary of the formation of the Federal Territory of Kuala Lumpur in 1974. Today is also commemorated as Dumpio Significant Jerk Day on February 1st, celebrated around the world on first Sunday in February each year. This is a perfect occasion for finally getting rid of jerk once for all. This day encourages those who need a little push to reclaim their lives and stop allowing themselves to be mistreated. Ironically, it's during the month of love, but I think that makes it even better sense because self-love is just as important as love. Today is also commemorated as Decorating with Candy Day. Every year, it is conveniently sandwiched between Christmas and Valentine's Day, ensuring we have a fun holiday to celebrate as we transition between those two well-known celebrations. This day serves to keep the festive cheer alive and anticipates the warm and mushy feelings of Valentine's Day. Decorating with candy is a day when all candy lovers, young and old, are given permission to sprinkle candy on anything and everything they decide to eat. So let your imagination run wild as you decorate your meals. Let your inner child fulfill all their fantasies when it comes to creating sweet laden treats. And it doesn't have to be food, and you can use pictures, collages, and even candy covered fabric for your creation. Today is also commemorated as Day of Remembrance and the Respect to Victims of the Communist Regime in Bulgaria, which is observed on February 1st every year. It was declared to the government to honor the memory of all those who were wrongfully imprisoned and killed by oppressive regime in Bulgaria, as well as to have a permanent reminder of these heinous acts. It's not a public holiday though, so business don't close. But no, to commemorate the day, wreaths are placed in the memorial wall in Sofia, and memorial church services are held with politicians also giving speeches. Today is also commemorated as Conservatorship and Guardianship Abuse Awareness Day in US on February 1st, usually through online conferences and events such as debates, live streams, and discussions. The day aims to raise awareness about the abuses of power within the conservatorship and guardianship, which was created to care for the people of disabilities or illness, impairing their decision making abilities. However, some guardians and conservators take this as an opportunity to control. Day is also commemorated as Change Your Password Day in US, celebrated annually on February 1st. As most of the transactions occur online, thus our personal and confidential information is liable to be hacked. This makes it important to keep online data safe by changing our passwords. Today is also commemorated as British Yorkshire Pudding Day in UK on the first Sunday of February. This baked pudding is honored for its centuries-long stalwart place in the British food lexicon. Yorkshire pudding was the first devised as a way to conserve the fat that would drip off, catching the grease in the batter mix, that is flour and milk, instead of dripping pan and serving the resulting dish as part of the meal. Yorkshire puddings would be served before the main meal to dull the appetite before the sparingly served meal course. Today is also commemorated as Abolition of Slavery Day in Mauritius, observed annually on February 1st, commemorates the abolition of slavery in the nation. The Slavery Abolition Act of 1833, helmed by British Parliament, took effect a year later, with the most British colonies freeing enslaved Africans spanning the Caribbean and South Africa. In 1835, Mauritius followed suit, officially becoming the last British colony to gain freedom. Planters were compensated with £2 million sterling for the slave loss. Mauritius, colonized by the Netherlands, France, and Great Britain, became independent in 1968. So with this, we shall end today's commemorations and celebrations. We thank you everyone for joining us in today's celebrations and commemorations. See you all tomorrow at the same time with the same joining link. We request everyone to quickly fill up the feedback form that has been raised in the form of votes before leaving the platform. See you all tomorrow at the same time with the same joining link. Take care. Good night.